Came across this story yesterday, and I really couldn't believe it. This homeowner in Raleigh, North Carolina, decided yesterday that, well, it wasn't yesterday, it was prior to that, but he decided that he wanted to shoot a black person. Not only did he want to shoot a black person, he wanted to shoot a black person from cover. But he had to come up with a story. So the story that he came up with, and I don't think it was premeditated, but I think he thought about what he was going to say in order to cover his tracks when it first crossed his mind. Anyway, here's the story as presented on News One.
A white man claiming to be a neighborhood watch member in Raleigh, North Carolina, is charged in the murder of a black man. Police say early Sunday morning, Chad Copley was inside his garage when he fired a shotgun and hit 20-year-old Karan Rodney Thomas, killing him. Before the shooting, Copley called 911 several times, complaining that what he described as hoodlums near his home. And he said these hoodlums had weapons.
We have a lot of people outside our house yelling and shouting profanities. I yelled at them, please leave the premises. They were showing firearms, so I fired a warning shot, and we got somebody that got hit.
Okay, so somebody was shot?
Well, I don't know if they're shot or not, ma'am. I fired my warning shot like I'm supposed to by law. And we got people. They do have firearms, and I'm trying to protect myself and my family. I'm going to secure my neighborhood. I don't know neighborhood you watch. I'm going to have the neighbors with me. There's someone out here racing up and down the street. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. They're shouting vandalism. They have firearms. And we're going to secure our neighborhood. If I was you, I'd come TV.
The 39-year-old suspect appeared in court on Monday and remains in jail without bond. His next court date appearance is August 29th.
Let me stop right there. I don't know who the producer is on this show, but they reversed the 911 calls. The first 911 call you heard was actually the second one that he made. The second call was the first one he made, because the first call that she referenced, the person had already been shot.
All right, here we go again.
This immediately reminded me of Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
It's even worse because, let me give you some of the facts. The guy that got shot, he and his buddy had gone to a party that was in the neighborhood, and this party was packed, and I guess the person running the party wasn't allowing everybody in, so these guys were waiting to get into the party. Now this was right around 12:30 or so in the morning. When it became time for them to go in, people were coming out, and supposedly a person said there's no women in the party. Okay. The guys decided no women in the party, we might as well just move on. They turn around and head back to their car, and the car had to be parked a good distance away with all those people at the party. Meanwhile, they see a police car. Now, the guy that got shot was holding some marijuana. Here we go again with the marijuana. He decides, since the cops are coming in his direction, he decides to run, and his partner runs with him. Well, the cops didn't even chase him, so his partner told him, the cops aren't chasing us. We can slow down. We can stop. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the person who killed this man, obviously he heard all the noise from the party, etc. And instead of calling the cops and saying, making a noise complaint, he doesn't do that. He waits and decides he's going to take matters into his own hands. Calls 911, talks about hoodlums and they got weapons and blah blah blah, which the guy didn't have a gun. Neither of the guys had a gun. Then he goes and shoots this guy. He claims he fired a warning shot. A warning shot does not hit people. A warning shot is up in the air. He did not fire a warning shot, and he fired from the cover of his garage. So that just gives you a little bit of the background as far as what I read yesterday. Let me move on with this clip.
Neighborhood watch. I'm protecting my children, my family. There's hoodlums here. You got to get everything under control. And I was really bothered by the fact too, he's like, he knew the law. I can fire my warning shot. I fired it from inside my house. So now he gets to say that he was in his home and protecting himself. It's just...
When does a warning shot hit anybody?
Exactly.
Isn't a warning shot in the air?
Right.
Okay. When does a warning shot go towards someone?
When you're a white neighborhood watchman and a black man, because he's a black man, whether he's cursing or not, is deemed inherently violent and criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a narrative that just has to shift, and I don't know why it can't shift quickly after decades of experiencing that, but this continues to be a problem. I thought about Trayvon as well. It's like, I can't believe that was in February 2012, but it was. And the fact that it has emboldened other neighborhood watchmen or women to do similar or to conduct similar activity is frightening.
Now the difference here is Copley's in jail.
Yeah.
Without bond. How long it took them weeks to arrest George Zimmerman.
Right.
So the movement has made at least some movement.
Or maybe there's a reasonable officer, judge in Raleigh, North Carolina, which of course wasn't the case in San Francisco.
Right. Let's move on to our next headline.
All right, so we're going to see, but just the fact that guy fired from undercover, in my mind, that's called an ambush. So we're going to see, but he's charged with first degree, and he is or could be facing the death penalty. So we'll see.